Love was supposed to be a blessing. But for young Amara, love became a debt too heavy to carry. Her marriage to Obinna had been sealed not with affection, but with a bride price so high it chained her to a life she never chose. What happens when tradition becomes a curse? And when the price of love is higher than love itself? The cock crowed in the early morning, and the sun stretched its golden fingers over the red earth of Umwacha village. Amara, only 19 years old, walked barefoot to the stream with her water pots. She was graceful, her dark skin glowing under the dawnlight, her braided hair swaying as she moved. People often whispered that she was the most beautiful girl in the village. But beauty had become her curse. Her father, desperate for wealth, had demanded the highest bride price ever known in their lineage, and Obinna, the proud son of a wealthy trader, had paid it, not out of love, but pride, to prove that no price was too high for him. Amara's heart, however, belonged to another. By the stream, Amara met secretly with Chisom, a humble farmer's son. His hands were rough from tilling the soil, but his eyes were soft whenever he looked at her. "Amara," he whispered, brushing her hand lightly, "why must you marry Obinna? Do you not see my heart burning for you?" Tears filled Amara's eyes. "It is not my choice, Chisom. My father has already taken Obinna's wealth. My bride price is the rope that ties me to a man I do not love." The birds sang, but their hearts were heavy. At home, Amara's father, Okeke, sat with his friends boasting, "My daughter is worth more than gold. Obinna paid the bride price without bargaining. Now my family will never know poverty again." The men laughed and raised their cups of palm wine. But Amara's mother, Neka, sat in silence. She saw the sorrow in her daughter's eyes and knew that money could not buy peace. The village square was filled with drumming, dancing, and feasting. Obinna stood tall, wearing his white kaftan, his chest broad, his smile proud. He placed his arm around Amara, who forced this smile for the crowd. Inside, her heart cried out. Every ululation from the women pierced her soul, reminding her that she was being celebrated into a prison. When night fell, the compound was quiet. Obinna led Amara into the hut, his breath heavy with palm wine. "You are mine now," he said. "Do not forget, I paid dearly for you. You belong to me." Amara turned her face away, her tears wetting the pillow. The price of her father's greed became her chains that night. Weeks passed, and Amara's life became a cycle of cooking, fetching water, and serving a husband who reminded her every day of the bride price. Obinna would say, "Do you know how many goats and cows I gave for you? How many bags of yam? Do not forget your worth, woman. You are expensive." Each word felt like a whip on her spirit. One market day, Amara saw Chisom again. He was selling vegetables, his face weary from work. Their eyes met, and in that moment, the world melted away. But before they could speak, Obinna appeared, placing a possessive hand on Amara. His voice was sharp. "Remember whose wife you are." Chisom lowered his gaze, his jaw clenched in silence. That evening, Amara's mother came to her secretly. "My daughter, I see your sorrow. Marriage is not meant to be chains. But Obinna is proud and dangerous. Do not let your heart wander, or you may pay with your life." Amara held her mother's hand. "Mama, did you not see this coming? Why did you let father sell me like a goat?" Neka's eyes filled with tears. "Because I am a woman, child. My voice is but an echo in this house." Obinna's temper grew worse with each passing day. When Amara served his food late, he slammed the plate against the wall. "Do not test me, woman. Do you think because you are beautiful you can defy me? I paid your worth. I own you." Fear gripped Amara, but deep inside, a spark of resistance was beginning to burn. One night, under the moonlight, Chisom slipped a letter into Amara's hands as she fetched water. "My love," it read, "if ever you find the strength, run away with me. Let us choose love, not tradition. The bride price is nothing compared to the joy of freedom." Amara pressed the letter to her chest, her heart racing. For the first time, she wondered if she could break the curse of the bride price. Amara hid the letter beneath her wrapper, but Obinna's eyes were sharp. That evening, as she prepared his meal, he noticed her trembling hands. "What is it you hide from me?" he demanded. Snatching her wrapper, he found the folded piece of paper. Reading the words, his face darkened like a thundercloud. He crumpled the letter in his fist and struck the table. "So you dare betray me after all I paid?" That night, Obinna's fury raged like a storm. His voice shook the walls as he cursed Amara. "I will remind you every day that you are mine. I bought you with goats, cows, and yam. No farmer's son will take what I own." Amara wept silently, her heart shattered. The weight of tradition had chained her, but her soul longed for freedom. Hearing the commotion, Nneka came running. She placed herself between her daughter and Obinna. "Enough, Obinna," she cried. "Bride price is not slavery. You bought honor, not chains." Obinna's eyes widened with rage. "Stay out of this, old woman, or I will remind you of your place." But Nneka stood tall. For the first time, she refused to be silent. The next morning, the story spread like wildfire. Women in the market whispered. Men shook their heads. At the village square, elders summoned Obinna and Amara. Elder Eze, the oldest among them, spoke sternly. Bride price was never meant to enslave a woman. It was a token of respect, not ownership. You bring shame by twisting tradition. Obinna clenched his fists, but he dared not defy the elders. Suddenly, Chisom stepped forward. His voice was steady, though his heart pounded. "If Obinna values cows and yam more than Amara's happiness, let him return them. I have no wealth, but I have love, and love is worth more than gold." Gasps filled the air. Obinna's face burned with humiliation. "You dare speak in front of me, poor farmer?" Okeke, Amara's father, shifted uncomfortably. For the first time, guilt gnawed at him. He remembered the night Obinna's men had carried bags of yam, goats, and palm wine into his compound. At that moment, he had only seen wealth, but now he saw the sorrow on his daughter's face. "My greed has cursed my child," he whispered to himself. Amara, her voice trembling yet strong, faced the elders. "I am not a goat to be bought. I am not a field to be owned. I am a woman with a heart that longs for peace. If tradition binds me to sorrow, then I choose to break it." The square grew silent. Women wiped tears. Men bowed their heads. Elder Eze raised his staff. "The bride price shall be returned. Let this be a lesson. Marriage must be built on love, not chains. Let no man twist our customs into weapons." The crowd murmured in agreement. Obinna's pride shattered like clay. Obinna stumbled back, clutching his chest. You shame me before all." His pride, heavier than his wealth, weighed him down. He fell to the ground, gasping. Men rushed to lift him, but his spirit seemed broken more than his body. Okeke approached his daughter, his voice low and filled with shame. "Amara, my greed blinded me. I saw wealth and forgot your happiness. Forgive me, child. If I could, I would return every yam, every goat, and every coin to see you smile again." Tears blurred Amara's vision. "Papa, you cannot undo the past, but you can stand with me now." That evening, under the same mango tree where they once met in secret, Amara and Chisom sat together. "Will you still have me, even after all this?" she asked. Chisom smiled, his rough hand covering hers. "I never stopped waiting. My love was never for sale." Nneka joined them, her voice soft. "Children, love is not measured by wealth, but by sacrifice. Do not let pride or greed poison what is pure. Build your home on truth, and it will stand stronger than any bride price." Amara leaned into her mother's embrace, her heart lighter than it had been in months. Soon, women of the village began to sing. Love is not bought. Love is not sold. A woman is not a goat. Her heart is gold. The song spread, echoing through the night, a reminder that traditions must serve people, not enslave them. Bride price was never meant to be a curse. When love becomes a debt, it destroys hearts. But when love is free, it heals generations. In the end, love that is chosen, not bought, is the only love that lasts. Do you believe bride price should remain in African tradition, or should it change? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to keep African storytelling alive.